The birth of African cinema is closely connected with the independence of African countries, and I would say particularly sub-Saharan African countries. Political independence has allowed the appropriation of a film medium by Africans to tell their own stories, to show and identify with their own images. If we can only and truly speak of African cinema from the 1960s onwards, then the question is, what about the 70 years prior, meaning since the invention of the film medium in 1895? In other words, does it mean that Africa didn't experience cinema until the 1960s when they gained independence and followed by the birth of African cinema? Looking back, we can definitely say that Africa did experience cinema from 1895 to 1960s, and that's through missionaries using film as a way to spread the gospel, or also in other case is propaganda films that were shot by the colonial administration for two reasons. One reason is first to show that Africa need civilization, to really convince the Western audience of the civilizing mission of colonialism in Africa, and then on the other end, it is to show Africans the superiority of the motherland being France, Germany, England, or Belgium. For English-speaking Africa, those propaganda short films were mainly produced by the Colonial Film Unit within the British Ministry of Information, and the Colonial Film Unit operated between 1939 and 1955. It's worth noting too that the French had a similar entity that controlled the production and distribution of moving images in or about Africa. So the change came about around 1955 when African students in Paris started getting involved in cinema, particularly the Senegalese director Paulin Soumano Vieira, whose first short film, Africa on Scene, is considered the cornerstone of the founding stone of African cinema. In the next video, I will address the socio-political forces that shaped the birth of African cinema, and also talk about the key figures of the African cinema, mainly the key figures of the first generation of African cinema.